Welcome to the College of Wealth podcast, the ultimate financial guide to help you understand your financial stresses and how you can build from it. Your lessons won't be in class, and your projects can either save you or earn you money. We host episodes 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays to help you reach your financial freedom. Now let's get started with your hosts, Owen, Paradis, and William Goulet.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Owen Paradis. I'm here with my co-host, William Goulet. We're proud to present to you the College of Wealth podcast.
Podcast.
Yes, this is the College of Wealth podcast.
It sure is, Owen.
This is a financial podcast that teaches you the latest and greatest information about money, because at the end of the day, this is a crazy money-making world.
Yeah, crazy in many ways, and money-making in infinite ways, I'd say, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we like to go and talk about money on this episode, but this entirety of this podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing.
It kind of is. And for those exact reasons, we like to go and have a little disclosure that this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. And
all
it's
right,
mainly
now hold on. So,
yes.
So, like, while our entertainment purposes are fulfilled, I think, on a daily basis, on at least every episode.
Yes.
I gotta say that you do some pretty good work, Owen, and that's kudos to you, by the way, honestly.
Thank you.
And I'd like to include that as part of our value proposal, including intro. So I think let's get the information, let's get the entertainment. Let's not forget the entertainment, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's put them together. I say let's offer both. Infotainment. What do you think?
I like that. That's pretty good. I like that.
I won't say
a good
it's
addition.
cheeky.
No.
But it's quite, that's cheeky. It really is.
It is. It is. But here at the College of Wealth podcast, we like to go and call the information on here infotainment. We don't like to be the end-all, be-all. We just like to make your wheels turn with the information that we provide. If you're planning on doing any type of financial moves or anything like that, go and talk to a professional by any means. Yeah. Because both Will nor myself are financial advisors.
Well, certainly not me anyways.
Me either.
Oh, true.
But what we do, the entirety of the reason why we do this podcast is for one of the big reason. I guess you could
because
say two.
We like to make money. Or, hang on. In some cases, we like to save money.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I guess we could say that we like to increase our net worth one way or another.
Yes.
It's either making money or saving money.
We like
to increase our net worth. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
There we go. All right, now that we have our introduction, like we say, we got all the cleanup done. I don't know why I'm calling it. I don't know. I don't know why I call it the cleanup. I wouldn't even call it. Oh, what would we call it? I would say housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe.
Housekeeping.
I still think there's a better one.
Now that we got the introduction done,
yes,
we have to go and start episode 107.
Right on.
And
hey, you know what? 100 episodes ago was the length of an average podcast before people quit.
100 episodes ago, so we failed at failing.
Yeah, and we're pretty good at it, I gotta say.
Well, we quit at what, episode 53?
Yeah, but now that we have done so many more episodes, we can just lie and say, no, we always knew it was going to come back.
Yeah, exactly. So we're at episode 107, and we've had this episode, we've had a similar episode prior to this, but not in the same case. This is going to be a short-term, for short-term. The other one was long-term.
Okay.
So the last episode we had similar to this was Race to $100,000.
Oh, okay. Oh, short-term Race to $100,000. That sounds nice.
No.
Oh, okay.
Short term for $100,000, that'd be just gambling or just flat out theft at that point, or starting a high risk business.
Or maybe even engaging in some scam talk activities.
Yeah. But basically, for the in this case scenario, it's how to save fast. How to save $1,000 in 30 days.
Oh, right on.
So
That's
it's not
once a month. That's pretty good.
It's not unrealistic. It's not jaw dropping by any means whatsoever. Yeah. But it is something that people can do. And I'm saying $1,000, but for anyone who doesn't, who has a high salary or something like that, $1,000 is nothing. Challenge yourself and say $3,000 or $2,000 a month.
Yeah. You can't cop out just because your scale is higher. Come on now, guys.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I make $6,000 a month, and it's like, all right, well, I'll save $1,000. I just need to save 15% of my salary, or my 15% of my net income. That's not a challenge.
Yeah, you're ruining the game, guys. Come on.
Yeah. So in this case, we're going to be talking about saving $1,000 in 30 days.
Right on.
The way
saving? So it's a half saving, half making episode.
Yes. Yeah, actually. So the first way we're going to have it is we're going to have we're going to have our stats, obviously.
Statman, of course.
Of course. And then we got 5 different steps that you should be taking to reach exactly that.
Right on. I look forward to step 1. No, actually, I look forward to the stats. I really like the stats section.
Well, this one's going to be pretty interesting. I got a good mix between American and Canadian stats here.
Oh, right on.
So the first one is an American stat. What percentage of U.S. millennials demonstrate basic financial literacy?
Oh, I would hope 65% is probably my realistic target.
24% admit to having financial literacy. Wow. Millennials. So
that's disappointing. Well, especially because they're our age and up.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, geez. It's a little
but it doesn't make Canada much better here. In Canada, what percentage of them admit to having good financial literacy?
It doesn't make it much better, so it does make it a little better. Let's call it 30%.
15% of Canadians say they have good financial literacy.
What the frick, dude?
It's
that
worse.
Is so weird. 15?
15.
My goodness. That's disappointing.
It is. And 39% of them say they have poor financial literacy.
You know what? I'm looking forward to the Gen Z stats coming out. I'm very curious as to, how we can... Well, how are they like,
that'll be very interesting. But this stat, by the way, is by MNP.
Okay, so they have an idea.
Yeah. Accounting and finances for anyone who doesn't know who MNP is. Mm-hmm. Now, our third stat is, of course, another one for the Americans.
Nice. When and what Americans did not save any money in 2021? I would say 2021 was probably the most prosperous year that we've had in a long time in terms of the economy and in terms of growth. Did not save a single, maybe one in 8.
It's better than that. 1 in 5.
No, that's worse.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It's worse. Yeah. It's worse. It's worse.
1 in 5 didn't save any money in the biggest growth spurt in the world.
Now we also got to take into account inflation was absolutely terrible. People getting laid off too, and there were some.
Not in 2021.
Well, I'm just saying, like, inflation was still something as well. A bit.
Yeah, I guess a little bit, but as far as I'm concerned, I think there's almost no excuse for 2021. If you had a regular income, which I know isn't 1 in 5 that didn't have an income.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a disappointing stat once again. Jeez.
And last but not least, we're going to talk about Canada.
Oh yes.
Did you want to guess what Canada's saving rate was in 2019? They didn't have anything for later.
10%. 10% away.
So the average saving rate was 10% in Canada, is what you're saying.
Nice.
Oh, no. That's what you're saying.
Oh, God. Why would you say it like that? I thought I had it.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Canada's saving rate average in 2019 was 2.27%.
Whoa. That's less than some of these high interest savings accounts.
Yeah. Well,
jeez.
And for context, China, although China does have a lot of families living within households and things like that,
Yeah.
China's saving rate was averaging around 25%.
Wow.
Average.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What discipline.
And I mean, the cost of living is really high too over there. But I mean, if you go into rural areas, it's a different story too. But nonetheless, it's still impressive to save 25%.
Well, our cost of living, everyone's saying that ours is sky high, and we're managing 2%, 2.7%.
Yeah. So I thought that was absolutely crazy to see.
I call it discipline. I swear it's got to be discipline.
There is a factor of discipline as well, for sure. Like, do you absolutely need two vehicles? There's always a transit system.
True.
Do you, I mean, especially like in rural areas, that might be not the case.
Yeah.
Or do you absolutely need that extra bedroom? Do you need all those things? Do you have to always go out or anything like that and live life, as like they go and say? Like, I gotta be honest with you here. Living life on the edge is not going to get, sorry for the term, shit faced on Friday night. That is not living life on the edge.
That's living your best life. That's what they call it, is getting well, let's just say it, getting shit faced on a Friday is living your best life.
I'm just saying, people are like, you know what? Life is short. I'm gonna go and do. How? Okay,
Yeah.
like I mean, having fun. I'm not dissing having fun or drinking or anything like that. I'm not saying, but there is a lot more cost-effective ways to having fun and going to the bar and spending $7 a drink, or at least.
Yeah, at least is right, man. Because maybe up north we'll be lucky to have a $7 drink, but down south it's $12 a drink almost every time. It's unbelievable, man.
I literally remember going to on the west side of Canada here, and I remember, because I don't drink, and usually a lot of the bars will go and say, like, okay, if you're DD or something like that, they'll give you pop or whatever, or soda on the house.
Yeah.
This club I went to charged me $7 for an iced tea.
Wow.
A virgin iced tea.
That's a slap in the face. Why don't you just go next door?
Yeah, I was dumbfounded. I was like, yeah, even if you told me $2 or $3, yeah, whatever, I'll pay the $2 or $3. It's not that's not the idea. You are charging me what the regular regular bars are going to charge for a beer.
Yeah.
For an iced tea.
That is so ridiculous.
So needless to say, I was very upset about that, but a lot of spending nonetheless for people. A lot of people will spend money, and I mean that is their life, I should say.
Yeah, and different quality of life, and and focuses and priorities.
Yes,
and I think that's where there's a big challenge for most people. Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of challenges, I want to bring up the quote of the day.
Oh, right off the hop here.
Yeah, that's right. Right in the stats section. Right. This here is from Lori from Shark Tank, actually.
Oh, very cool.
And it's specifically about challenges, and we're talking about challenges of prioritization, saving money.
Did she say just do it?
No, she has a little bit more insights on it. She says, when I had challenges, it taught me to be more on top of it for the future. Right? So, which goes to say, if you're having issues saving today, it's not too late to seize control of your finances and start saving, effective this week. You can do it effective this week, no problem.
100%. I agree. I agree with that very much so. And like we're saying, we're not dissing going out and drinking or anything like that. We've all done it. I'm just saying people who like to label that their lifestyle or something like that, it's like, that adds up. It adds up a lot.
For me, I don't even think it's about the lifestyle. It's like, it's something like this. You're spending all this money on going out, and there's nothing left. It's when there's nothing left, and that you're living paycheck to paycheck to support that lifestyle. That's when I find it unfortunate.
For sure.
Yeah,
I agree. So now that we got our stats and the drinking
our rants.
and our rants
Yeah.
Done and over with, we're going to go and hop into our first components of the 5 that we have for making your very first $1,000, saving your $1,000.
Yep.
And the first one is to understand exactly what the 30-day challenge is.
Oh, okay.
So the first thing you got to go and do with the 30-day challenge is you got to lower your expenses as much as possible.
Yes, that makes sense.
And all the while saving. So you're gonna be saving as much as possible as well. Mm-hmm. And within that 30 days, it's actually pretty quick there. But within that 30 days, you aren't going to fall for any type of temptations, and you are going to log in your biggest weaknesses.
Okay.
When I say log, I just mean either whether it be pen and paper, whether it be on Excel, whatever you feel most comfortable.
Sure.
Things that you know that you could do without, but you might have fell for, decided to pay for, or you really had the urge of doing so.
Yeah.
And the aftermath of this, there's 2 things for the aftermath. Why you should be doing this. The first thing is to discover exactly what's available for free.
Yeah.
Discover what's around you, your city, your surroundings, what's within your apartment or your house or anything like that you may not, the book that you have that has been collecting dust.
True.
Or,
and I bet you once you start looking around your house, if you do cancel all your services cold turkey, let's say like streaming services, you go and you as you start going, you start looking around and, oh, there it is. Hey, I didn't finish this book.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is it also you also learn to save on gas as well. You're more conscious about how much you spend on traveling. Or not just spend on traveling, but making people travel as well. So if you eat out,
oh, okay,
let's say, Uber Eats or anything like that, that you're paying someone to travel to deliver your food.
Yeah, it's true. No, you're spot on.
And the last thing to do with the 30-day challenge is after 30 days, you calculate your savings and your money saved.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So how much did you actually save by cutting these expenses? How much did you end up saving overall? And if you want to go the extra mile, calculate how much that was in regards to your income or in regards to your how much
typical expenses.
Yeah, exactly.
And say I was able to save X%. Mm-hmm. Like maybe a nice little 25%. That'd be nice.
Yeah, exactly. That would be really freaking nice. But with that, we got to go into our I'm saying for a second step, but it's technically our first step, and that's to obviously break down your expenses.
Yes.
When you're starting the 30-day challenge, you got to understand what's coming in and what's coming out. And
what do you think is the biggest?
Oh,
the biggest expense.
Rent or a mortgage?
Oh, okay, sure. Let's say non-modifiable.
So when you non-fixed?
Yeah, non-fixed. Something that you opt in.
For sure food.
Okay.
Like food and eating out.
Point. True.
I guess $20 here, $30 there, or anything like that. I literally was following a Reddit story about where they were complaining about their finances.
Mm-hmm.
and this was a while back, and they were complaining about their finances, and they were living at home, or when I say living at home, with their spouse, and they basically were complaining about their spouse complaining about them and saying that they're not doing anything, and it just argument after argument. And I provide a lot for this, for us and everything. I try and do the dishes when I can. And then after some prying, people figured out that this person would order them food maybe once or twice a day.
Yeah.
And so everyone's like, you're doing the dishes and you're eating out and you're not working and you're complaining about your partner being mad at you.
Yeah. Honestly,
Like, I know, like, and this person was complaining about finances as well. I know like commenters were saying, how much are you spending on eating out? Like, that is anywhere between $30 and $50 a pop. And you're doing this once or twice a day. Like, you need to figure out your finances.
Especially if you're getting delivery. If you're getting that as delivery, man, holy man.
Well, that's it. So in this case scenario, like, I mean, for this person and for anyone in general, you got to go and figure out your monthly net income. Not but not gross, but net. After taxes, how much is in that bank account when it's deposited? And and you calculate it for the month, and then you calculate your useless spending. So export the data or anything on Excel or whatever template. If you don't have a template, there are many of them, where basically all you have to do is figure out which of your expenses were wants and which ones are needs.
Oh, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Mint
I speak about it.
Is from a reputable company.
Mint is awesome for that kind of stuff.
Really?
And in this case scenario, once you're able to do that, like, I know for myself, I do it on Excel, and I'm able to classify, and I color code all the different categories of spending that I did, and I'm able to get an idea. And but I work with Excel all day, every day with the work that I do.
Yeah.
So, so I was able to go, any type of color coding would be classified and tabulated into another box to auto calculate the total useless spending.
Okay. Well, I guess it is nice if you have it like that. You think there's a generic version that we could release?
I'm sure I'd be able to create a generic version for sure, like, no issues. I've been doing it for the last, for a few months now. This template that I've been doing, but I built it just on my own time.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, it'd be a cool resource,
a lot of fun.
Honestly.
For sure. Our next thing that we have to talk about is your fixed expenses. So you're talking about tracking the things that you don't need. Track the things that you do need. So you have rent to make. You have a mortgage to pay. Those are things that you have to pay off. You have a loan to pay. You have your credit cards to pay. Track those things, those payments that you have to make. And then now that you have that and your net income, you'll be able to calculate how much you're able to, how much you're going to be able to save. Your opportunity to save. So let's say you make I'm just making it up. You make $5,000. Your rent is $2,000. And your fixed expenses is $3,000. Well, you have $2,000 to save here. Mm-hmm. Well, your goal is to save $1,000 for the month. So it's still fairly simple for that person. They just need to reduce their expenses a little bit, wiggle things around, and they get it. But it becomes a lot more challenging if you make less.
Yes, no doubt. And you have to start cutting on more essential things, right?
Exactly. And that's actually our last component to this right here. It's to determine why you want to do this challenge. What is the purpose of doing this challenge? Are you doing it for financial control? Like, you're just bad at managing your money? I think I said it yesterday. Or not yesterday, but on Tuesday's episode. I'm trying to see. If it wasn't Tuesday's, it may have been... I forget which episode it was, but making money isn't it's not about making the money. It's about learning how to save.
Oh, okay.
Treat the money that you save.
Yep.
Treat the money that you save like money that you've earned. Don't treat it as spending money.
Oh, yeah, because it's so easy to say, well, I saved this much so I can go here and go there.
And spend more. No.
Yeah.
Don't treat it like that.
On a side note, it's actually a dollar saved is worth more than a dollar earned. Because if you earn $1, you need to pay income taxes on it, whatever else it's subject to. Whereas if you save $1, you already paid your taxes. It's already in your wallet,
For sure.
So if you could save, if you could earn an extra $5 an hour or save $5 an hour, go for the save, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. Very much so. Onward to our second point here, our second step. If you want to be very aggressive with this and save $1,000, sell any unused things that you have. Okay. Clean up. I say clean up your mess.
Yeah, clean out the closet.
Yeah, literally. But in this case scenario, if we've said it beforehand, if you're using it less than, I forget the stats we were saying, less than 4 times a month.
Okay.
If you're using it less than once a week, unless it's intended to only be used once a week, like a washer or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just making that up. It'd be best to get rid of it. If it's not giving you much benefit, get rid of it.
Selling a washer is such a funny idea. You say, I got a quota to beat. I got to make $1,000 at the end of the month. And then you have to buy a brand new LG or something next month.
Spend more because of it. But at the end of the day, just because if you're selling something for $5, that's still $5 that you didn't have beforehand on something that you didn't use.
Absolutely. That's where it happens, It's like selling a sponge for 33 cents. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's 33 cents that you didn't have, man. For someone who goes into business and decides to scale, it's the accumulation of all those that really starts to add up.
But that's it. That's exactly it. I think I told you like the box of random items that I purchased.
Yeah.
It was so funny because one of the inside that mystery box had a box of a pack of 5 a pack of 5 outlets.
Okay.
With USB ports inside of them.
Oh yes, those are nice.
Well, you can buy them on eBay for $40.
What?
You can buy it on not on eBay but on Amazon for $40.
Oh my god.
For the exact thing. Well, I sold it for $50. I sold it for $50 and I had like a dozen people reach out to me. I want it.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really the intention, but I was like, oh my gosh. And same thing with some smart lights that I had unused. I put them on. They sold the same day.
Not like the smart lights that you have behind you?
No. For anyone who's listening to the podcast, though, on Spotify or on Apple Podcast, make sure to give us a 5-star review and check us out on YouTube.
That way you can know what I'm talking about when I say the smart lights behind him. And for those who are curious, they're almost shaped like a llama of some sort.
It's true. I agree. But proving a little bit that I am a streamer too on the sideline there. But but nonetheless, it's a reality that a lot of people have to face, is to realize, is this something that I really want? Like, do I actually want to keep this, or is this something that it's just collecting dust?
Yeah.
And
my go-to instinct, I don't know about you, but my go-to instinct is, I'd like to keep it, and just put it away.
Just in case.
An exercise like this is perfect for me. It makes you get used to getting rid of stuff, selling, and then once you get a taste of that extra cash too, it's
a lot nicer.
Yeah.
And you learn, this doesn't just apply as well to cleaning out physical things, but things we're like talking about subscriptions, like cable. I think I was saying it around 4 or 5 months ago. I had cable, and it was literally, I honestly literally got it because my mom would come here and she watches TV all the time. And I realized how little I watched. I was like, this is such a waste of money. And I got rid of it, and no issues there. Like, thankfully, they didn't haggle anything.
Yeah, I was going to say canceling is usually an issue there.
Yeah, thankfully they were good with me there. No issues. But same thing, like if you have a cell phone, get yourself a shared cell phone plan with your partner. Or same thing, TV show subscriptions. That's another huge component, being able to go and get rid of it. If you don't use Hulu, or you only use Amazon, then then get rid of Hulu. Yeah, and you're saving $5 to $10 a month.
And the sacrifices can be made different ways. It can be, okay, maybe we don't need Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Disney.
Yeah.
And so let's say, okay, well, let's for sure cancel one. Mm-hmm. Then you say, okay, well, maybe not Prime because it has side benefits of the whole shipping thing. Yep. Okay, so maybe not that. Or maybe you say, let's cancel Prime because I want to stop ordering things off of Amazon.
Yeah.
And so there's either keep the multifunctional one, mm-hmm. or commit to just one that's pure entertainment, you know?
Yep. Exactly. I agree with that 100%.
And compromise, negotiate.
Yeah. And a little bit of a tidbit of information for anyone who's trying to get rid of items, like physical items too. Mm-hmm. The best selling items are obviously electronics, clothes and electronics. Clothes sell really good too.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I don't think I've ever sold one article of clothing.
Well, hear me out. Women's clothes.
Oh, yes.
And I'm not talking about your sweaty pants or your sweaty shirt or anything like that. Yeah. Gently used clothes that I've seen, like Abercrombie and Finch hoodies sell very quickly, or Lululemon clothes sell very quickly. You're not going to sell it obviously at the same price. Yeah, no, but you could still sell them, and as long as they're in good condition or anything like that, like I said, gently used, mm-hmm. you won't have an issue with it.
Yeah. No, I guess my option is I always just wear everything down until it's no longer usable. But I don't think anyone wants it then. That's
a man's side, though. A lot of men are like that. They'll wear it till there's literally holes inside of it.
Yeah, and then I've had it before where it's like, well, that hole's pretty negligible, or I can wear this with another shirt on top because that one won't have any holes in it.
For myself, especially during the summer, I have the same shorts that I wear, like cargo shorts, and nice. I've had them since high school. So it's
really?
Oh yeah. I've had them since high school, and this must be close to 8 years, close to 10 years now. And well, anyways, 2 of them have holes in them, and when I say holes, I mean just like on the seams or something like that.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was like, "You need to get rid of them." Like, no, they're still good. They're still good. And she finally forced me to go to like Old Navy. Old Navy doesn't have expensive clothes.
Sure.
And bought some shorts there. It was a sale for me, so I was happy. But nonetheless, I still have the shorts and I wear them. And the holes are hemmed. And she's like, "Are you serious? Are you serious? You decided to hem the shorts. Well, they're good shorts. I told you."
Well, as soon as she told you to get rid of them, you were probably hemming and hawing anyway, right? So you're good. No, but I find like an old shirt, if it gets too old, I downgrade it to a shop rag or a garage rag.
Yeah.
I reuse all the time, and then at that point, it just doesn't matter how ugly it is.
Mm-hmm. But you at the end of the day, for this year, you end up learning to have a bit of a minimalist lifestyle.
Honestly, yeah.
And it just teaches you it makes you think twice about purchasing something. It's not that you should stress about making purchases. It's just to have a second conscious about making your purchases.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with second guessing and having to think it twice before you buy something.
No, No, exactly. There's nothing wrong with evaluating everything.
Exactly.
So on to our third component here is the tracking component to this now. So now that you're starting to save, you got your income coming in, like your
Nice.
the best thing I got to go and say is to either create a new account, a new bank account, or use apps like I was going to say, like Mint, to track everything.
Yeah, those are great.
It's an awesome way. Like Mint is absolutely awesome. It's both America and Canada.
True.
You're able to see, and they automatically classify everything as well. And you're able to see how much you're spending in each category.
Yeah, and if if you're concerned that God forbid there's a mistake, you get to correct it and put it in the right category, right? Adjust your reports accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it shows a trend as well, saying, "Oh, you're putting away this much per month," and then big drop there. Usually December's the ugly one.
Yeah, it's true. And it tracks overall progress. It's very, very cool. Very cool system. I have to admit. But if you want to see physical progress as well, there's nothing wrong with withdrawing money either.
Oh, withdrawing. Yeah.
So in the case that you want to see I want to save $1,000. Well, every time you get paid, well, you know what? I'm going to take out $200, and you take it out. If you want to keep it simple, have 2 bennies, or $100 American $100 bills.
Oh, okay.
But 2 $100 bills, or if you want to make it a little bit more appealing, you'll have 10 $5 bills, 10 $20 bills.
Oh, that way you have the volume. And you get to fan it.
Yeah, just so you're able to see it, but it's still the same amount nonetheless.
Well, and like you're saying, by creating this account, if you have a little bit of excess income, then you just say, well, I'm getting 2 paychecks this month, so withdraw $500, and I got to make it happen. No matter what, I got to make it happen.
Yep. You can make it. You could take a backwards approach where it's like, hey, I want to save, and then what's left over I take out. Or you could take a forward approach where you decide to go and take the money out directly, and you work with what you have left.
I call that the Kiyosaki method. That's what he does. He says, I pay myself first, and then I'll figure out all of you guys that I have to pay.
But it's true. You should be paying yourself first more than anything. And in this case here, if you're planning on taking out money, and it's the same thing, like for withdrawal fees, make sure that you take it out of an ATM with your bank, so you're not having to pay ATM fees.
Yeah.
Or if you're planning on opening up an account, try and get the cheapest one or a free account.
Yeah.
Because there are some expensive, fancy accounts that have no value to you right now, or at all.
There are plenty of free options as well.
Yeah.
I know most in Canada, most of the major banks have a free version of accounts, and then on just some online banks as well. I know CIBC has one, and in fact, I'm with CIBC, one of their free online versions.
There you go. Exactly. And the coolest part is, and this is the last component I got to go and say for this segment here, is in regards to automating. That is an awesome strategy we have now, that you're able to automate taking money out. So things that we're talking about, Wealthsimple or Robinhood, as much as Robinhood gets flack, you could still have it as a savings account where you're able to go and automatically transfer money from time to time. So in this case scenario for me, it was, okay, well, just as an example, I get paid on Fridays. I want to withdraw $200 to invest.
Nice.
Every Friday at around every Friday morning, Wealthsimple would automatically withdraw $200 from a bank account to put it into this bank account without me having to do. So I don't have the pain of having to transfer it or anything like that. It's done automatically for me.
That's the way to go, honestly. Out of sight, out of mind, you know?
Exactly. And especially if you're someone who wants it done automatically, you don't even have to worry about it at all. Like in those case scenarios, you'll reach $1,000 saved in no time.
True.
If you automate it, of course, in that case.
Automating means forcing yourself. It means committing.
Well, that's exactly it. You can't just. That's why I said if you have if $1,000 is nothing for you, do $2,000, do $3,000, because there should feel some form of strain or some form of pressure on you when you're doing this. Not because I want you to feel stressed or anything like that. But if you're going to go to the gym and you're going to work out with nothing at all, I really hope you're learning to go and do the right posture. Because if you're not, why are you there?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you're either working on range and motion or resistance.
Well, that's it. I mean, there is a theory of the fact that going to the gym is the hardest part to do. But, I mean, that's a gym. In this case scenario, going to your bank account, most people... it's not as difficult as wanting to go to the gym, unless you're having
one of our very first episodes was the difficulty that people had checking their bank accounts.
That's true. So I'll redact what I'm saying. I'll redact what I'm saying here.
No, but you're right though. It's by taking away the pain of physically doing it, you ensure that you commit it to your objective.
Well, that's it. And for those cases, you're able to go and, well, that's exactly that. You're able to go and calculate all that information without having to worry. So in this case scenario, if you're making $6,000, try to go for $3,000 saved. Yeah. You're going to be going a lot further in that case if you're able to pull that off. And then once you're able to, you might be doing $3,500 or $4,000.
Whoa, my goodness.
So, I mean, that's just for people who are making that kind of money, but in people who aren't making that kind of money, you can always find ulterior ways to make additional income as well. We have many episodes on doing so as well.
That's right.
So last but not least, we have our what should you do with that money or the future outlook? So you managed to save.
I have an idea. Hold on. I got to say this. I have an idea. So think about it. It's Friday night, you know. You say, hey, guys, come to the bar. Tonight is on me. I saved $1,000 this month. And you start paying everyone's tab. What do you think of that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now everyone loves you for that evening.
Yeah, well, I have to live my best life, Owen.
Yeah. I'm sure you are living your best life doing that.
Yeah, no doubt.
But in this case scenario, I have it. I literally have 3 different components. If you manage to save $1,000, but you have high interest debt, pay that off.
Yes.
Pay it off.
What's high interest?
I would say credit card. Credit card debt.
Okay, so let's say 8+%.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I would say that there. And if you don't have any high interest debt, and you don't feel like paying off your other debt there, like loans, put it towards a rainy day fund, which is always fine to go and put in case something bad ends up happening.
It's true. It's one of the first steps once you're debt free or almost debt free, depending on your situation. Yeah. First step is get your rainy day fund going.
For sure. And last but not least, if you have your debt paid off, your high interest debt paid off, you already have money put aside for your rainy day fund. Invest it. Put it in your RRSP, TFS, or I would say TFSA before your 401k. Yeah. Or RSP, your TFSA before RSP. Sorry.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm just saying for the United States, it'd be Roth IRA and 401k.
Yeah, that's right.
So in this case scenario, go and invest it. You have your money. You got your rainy day fund put aside. You got that debt solved. Go and invest it into something you believe in, whether it be mutual funds, whether it be low risk, or something like that.
ETFs.
ETFs, exactly. You're able to go and make a return on that $1,000. So not only are you, in this case, not only have you saved it, that $1,000 is now earning you money as well.
It is working for you.
Yeah.
You're used to working for your money. Not this time. The advantage of investing is that it works for you.
Mm-hmm. The second thing I like to bring up here is the fact that once you have that done, take a look at the logs or take a time to reflect at your biggest weaknesses.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. If you ate out or anything like that, see how many times you did it. See where your biggest weaknesses are and see where your biggest expenses are, because that can add up very quickly as well. Before you know it, spending $100, spending $200 like it's nothing.
Well, I find myself like one of my worst expenses is restaurants, because I like going out with friends,
For sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
And I find myself, it's easy for me to justify it, and there's an element of truth to it, but there's definitely an element of excuse where I'm like, well, going out to a restaurant saves me from my urge to go out traveling and go on these spontaneous trips. I'm like, there's an element of truth to that, but you know it's not the entire truth. You know
No.
you can cut back on it.
Oh, for sure. Because exactly like I was saying, spending $30, $40, $50 just for one meal instead of making 5 meals, 6
Well,
meals.
I have the advantage that I'm cheap with my meals.
Fair enough. But you'd still be able to save even more if you
You're
didn't
right.
go out.
You're right.
And the last component that I have to say is to keep following that same strategy. If you enjoy doing that, keep reproducing that strategy. So we're saying about the $6,000 the person making $6,000 a month. Well, use that strategy to go and save a little bit more. So instead of $1,000, do $1,100 next month. Do $1,200. Do $1,500, depending on what your wages are. You want to really, even though you make $2,500 or $2,500 or $3,000 a month. Well, in this case, it's like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to be very aggressive, and I'm going to try and find a way to save $3,000, or I'm going to save $2,500. And it's like, well, how could you do that? Well, you know what? I decided to sell some things. I decided to do some side gigs. I went, did some dog walking, did some social media marketing or something like that, and just found different ways to make that extra $200, $300 extra.
And it adds up, man. And it's that compound effect, right? So rather than finding ways to save money once you're 65 and you're looking to retire, you're doing it today so that you can have a more free life. By the time
Exactly. You're reaping the rewards. And I think, honestly, that was someone, like, I mean, for my dad, he's someone who to an extent I look up to for that. He's got his house paid off. He has no debts at all whatsoever, and he's in his early 50s.
Nice.
And he's there, and he said it like he wanted to go and buy himself a motorcycle. Last year, he bought himself a motorcycle. He paid it cash. Well, because of everything and how everything went up, he sold it for more and bought him, because he got into motorcycling. He bought himself a fancy motorcycle, and he paid cash.
Very nice.
And he's been continuously putting money on the side for his retirement as well. He's been set up good. And he says, I've never, like, for him, because he's scared of debt. Yeah. He says, I've never been so stress-free when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Wow.
But he's, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he spends his money foolishly. I'm just saying he's reaping the rewards of the efforts that he put in for many years.
Well, and now that he's set himself up for so long, he doesn't have to worry any longer about, oh, am I doing this? Am I doing that? He already has the discipline. He can already revert to his old way of spending, because that's how he spent his whole life. But now that he has a little bit of that extra money, now's the time, right? Take advantage of it. Live your stress-free life. Not wondering, oh, how am I going to provide for the rest of my life? Which could be the situation you find yourself in if you don't start saving money today. And if you're living your best life in your 20s, you likely won't be able to for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. That's an awesome way to say it there. So with that being said, this is episode 107, How to Save Fast with a $1,000 30-day challenge.
Right on. It was a fun one, honestly.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. I thought it was cool to capture all this information. It was a lot of fun too for me to do.
I was hoping that it was 1 month to make $100,000, but maybe in a future episode, huh?
That'll be a wild challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you haven't done so, give us a 5-star review on Apple's podcasts or on Spotify.
Oh, that's me, dude.
Go check out our Instagram account at College of Wealth Podcast. We have a lot of content on there, or on YouTube at College of Wealth Podcast as well. So with that being said, my name is Owen Paradis. I'm here with my co-host William Goulet, and we're proud to present to you the College of Wealth Podcast. Peace.
Ciao for now.
This has been your daily dose of motivation with the College of Wealth podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for listening, and until next episode.